know either. Hi, everyone. This is exciting. You ready for 2026?
Yeah.
Goals? Yes? Okay, good. I'm excited. I'm excited every year for the new level I get to become, right? All of us. Tell me, unmute yourself or tell me in the chat. Why did you come today? While we are waiting on everybody else and we have 2 minutes to kill. What would you like to get out of it today? Unmute or type. Why did you show up to the How to Eat an Elephant training? Let's
Because
see.
every time I show up, and I show up to almost everything, I learn something new every single time.
I love
Even
it. That's why
though
I'm
I
going this
usually,
weekend for a 3-day event, 3-day seminar of how to invest into stocks. And my husband is like, we have a birthday party to go to. I'm like, well, in every family, somebody needs to make money. Like, in ours, it looks like I'm the only one that actually enjoys learning and wants to learn. I want to know something about I want to know enough to be dangerous in just about everything that I'm interested in. Of course, I'm not interested of going up in hot air balloons and jumping out of airplanes. So I'm not attending a 3-day event in either one of those two subjects. But when it comes to the things that actually interest me, I enjoy learning. I enjoy going somewhere. I enjoy reading a book. I love a mastermind. I love asking questions when they open it up for Q&A. I'm always like, front and central. I like my questions answered. I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy learning. Okay, so thank you, Alan. Yes, make sure to invite a friend. Today is open to everyone, so you can invite anyone. They don't even have to be realtors. Of course, like when I do the math in setting your goals, like your financial goals, I do it based on commission. So if somebody that you invite is not in the commission world, they can do their math based on whatever they do. But everyone is welcome. And the link, Ellen, can you put the link where it's clickable?
it's not now.
Not for me.
Well, I'll
It
see it
came, yeah,
again.
it came through as a message, but the link is not clickable.
hmm Is it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Awesome. So if you have anybody that you would like them to attend today's, feel free to text it to them super quick, however you want to get it to them, because today's training is open to the public, meaning it's everyone's welcome. And it's 1 o'clock. Okay, let's get started. I don't want to waste your time because you know what? Time is money, come to find out. But then I also learned if it's not, and I can go into a whole other ramble on that, because if time was money, then how come some people make billions where other makes pennies? It's the same 24 hours, right? So that's a whole other conversation, but we'll do another training on that one. How's that sound? Okay, let me share my screen super quick. We are going to start it with what we call housekeeping items. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. So welcome here. Thank you so much. For those of you that may not know me, my name is Gogo Bethke. We do a training inside of my Team Gogo organization every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. But the last Wednesday of every month, we open it up to the public. So this is what we call open to the public. The reason why we do that is because we want you guys to be familiar with us. We want you to have access to trainings that we do in our organization, but also for you to see who we are, what we do. And if you decide that you are, let's say, with another brokerage, or you decide that you want to join us, you can so said try the shoes on before you buy them, right? So this is our open to the public. So you get to see what we do, how we do it. So if you have a friend that you think would benefit from today's call, please send them this link, the teamgogo.team/open, so they can register super quick. The link is in the chat already. Today's training is going to be how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. Why? Because sometimes, first of all, if your goals are not scaring you shitless, you didn't set big, obnoxious goals. You settled. And most people settle because they don't want to disappoint themselves, because they know they're not going to give it 100%. So they set a lower goal so they can achieve it, so they look and feel better in their own head, right? If you want real results, you better set goals that makes you shiver just thinking about it. Okay, so big, fat, obnoxious goals. And then when you set big, fat, obnoxious goals, then you're like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? Like, what do I need to do this year? What do I need to do this month? What do I need to do this week? What do I need to do today? What do I need to do in this hour? What do I need to do in this exact moment to make sure I reach my goals, right? So that means we have to reverse engineer that big, fat goal that we want to achieve by the end of the year. And we need to reverse engineer it into bite-sized pieces so then we don't choke on it. Make sense? So then we can just take it one day at a time, okay? This is a free training in the Team Gogo organization. So if you don't know what Team Gogo is, I switched to the company to EXP about 8 years ago, almost 7.5 years. November 1st is my anniversary date. And I started an organization which we call the Team Gogo International Family of Agents to partner with agents like yourself so then we can have our own family. We call ourselves International Family because we are in almost every state in the US and we are in 7 different countries, and also we are a bunch of different cultures, including myself. I speak 3 languages, right? And so we do this training every single month. If you want to see who we are and you want to see our production and you want to see our achievements and all of these things, feel free to check us out at any time. You can go to teamgogo.team and see the numbers. And then the person who invited you here today, reach back out to that person when you're ready to join us. Okay? The next one, tonight, I'm going to be doing a presentation, what we call Wine Not EXP. And it's kind of like a play on words because I show up with a glass of wine. But the idea is, why not EXP? Why shouldn't you be at the best brokerage on earth? I run the numbers. I'll show you what it takes to cap, what it takes to icon. I'll show you all the benefits. By the way, we do not charge being a Team Gogo member. Nobody pays anybody anything. I have now 1,550 partners inside the Team Gogo organization, and nobody owes each other anything. We don't cut each other a check. We just happen to be doing real estate together. So this training will show you who we are, what we do. And then later on tonight at 8 o'clock, I do a presentation that's called Why Not EXP. And in that one, I show you what our company has to offer, what the Team Gogo organization has to offer, what our upline has to offer. And then you kind of get a full picture. You get to see our trainings, you get to see what the company has to offer, and then you have a decision to make if you want to join us. So that's why we are here today. And let me switch over. Any questions on these? The links should be for both of these in the chat. Any question? No? Let's move on to our training today of how to eat an elephant one bite at a time and set your 2026 goals. The problem with most people, guys, that they don't actually stop to slow down. They are so busy working in their business, then they don't give it time to slow down to work on their business. And if you don't set goals, imagine like I believe, you know, those people that are always super busy, but they're going nowhere. I imagine like they are on a freaking treadmill. Like, yeah, you're running a marathon every single day, but you didn't set a destination. You can't reach it unless you know where you're going. Your internal GPS cannot possibly take you there unless it knows where you're going, right? Unless you give it a destination. What most people don't like to set goals for is because they don't like to look themselves in the mirror to admit where they at. Okay, because that hurts sometimes. That's why they say the truth hurts. If you don't like your results, fine, own up to it and let's change it in 2026. It's really that simple. But if you don't own up to it in the moment to know exactly where you're at, so imagine an actual GPS, right? Imagine that when you get in the car, right? You get in there and satellite says, this is where you're at. And then you say, yeah, but this is where I'm going, right? So now your GPS knows exactly where you're at and knows exactly where you're going. And it's a super simple. And then it's going to give you options like, do you want to walk it? Do you want to run it? Do you want to take public transportations? Do you want to take a bike? Do you want to drive it? Do you want to take back roads? Do you want highways only, no tolls? Life's going to give you options. You get to choose when you know your destination, you get to choose the speed of which you're going to get there. And that is, my friend, your work ethic. Okay. So let's be honest with ourselves. And I want you to write down right now so you can own up to it. Take your notebook. By the way, every time you come to my trainings, you better have a calculator in the notebook. You can just assume that at some point we're going to be doing math. And you can just assume I'm going to tell you a couple of things to write down. Okay. So write down, own up to it. I'm going to give you, let's say 30 seconds. Write down where you're at. Your current GPS location, financially, of course, business-wise, of course. Like you say, I'm a solo agent. I made $83,000 last year. I only really work, to be honest with myself, 12 hours a week. I read romance novels instead of investing into myself. And half the time I show up to calls, I'm doing a load of laundry and I'm doing it through an AirPod and I only pay attention 30% of the time and I don't actually take notes. Whatever that is, be honest with yourself. Write down who you are, 30 seconds, where you at, because that's what we're going to change, right? And it's easy to change it when you own up to it. Okay, we good? You had a heart to heart with yourself. Okay, later on, maybe open up this portion of your notebook, go in the bathroom, look yourself in the eye, and read it out loud to yourself. So you can be like, yep, I own up to it. This is who I was. This is my old persona. This is what I'm going to change in 2026. So define your end goal down to the detail. So I'm actually going to give you guys some prompts today, some ChatGPT prompts that not only is going to help you to be very specific with what you want, and it will give you very specific steps that you need to take, but you can also, we can take it a step forward, give it a specific scenario, and also ask it for a marketing plan. Like literally, we will eat your 2026 goals down to the hourly tasks that you need to do. And I'm going to give you all of those prompts today. Okay. So define your end goal down to the detail, picture the exact results you want by the end of 2026. So here's how I trick my brain, guys. I say this all the time and I can't emphasize it enough. And write this one down because business is a spiritual game. Everything that you have by far are the thoughts in your head. So I want you to write this down. If I cannot imagine it, I cannot have it. And if your goals that you wrote down, or you're going to write down in a second, right? The goals that we're going to write down in a second, if you write it down, but internally you're like, there's no way. Like, that would be amazing, but there's no way. That means you can't imagine it. If you can't imagine it, you can't have it. So then the way I trick my mind is whenever I set a goal, if I get that internal feeling of like, there's no way, guess what we do? Me, myself, and I, we go meditate, girl. We're gonna go meditate. It's almost like putting a child in a corner to think about what they just did. So I put myself in a corner and I think about what I just did to myself, how I self-sabotage my own dreams. And I sit there and I think until I do not get up from there until I can see myself on that level doing that thing. And we just sit there. And I say we because there's me, myself, and I. Okay. So I just sit there until I literally force myself. I'll sit there, I close my eyes, and I imagine that scenario. I imagine myself on stages. I imagine that beachfront condo. I imagine that 6,000 pound car. I imagine 250,000 cash in my bank account. And if I can't see it, if I get that like twitch, you know what I mean? Then you sit there, honey, until you can see it. Because I promise you, if you cannot imagine it, you cannot have it. Very simple rule of the universe. Okay. The universe literally brings you what you think. If you think you can't have it, you can't have it. It is really that simple. So now we have to break it down a little more in detail of what income level do you want? What career level do you want? What lifestyle do you want? What settle for close? Do not settle for close enough. And then now we are going to concentrate on our internal GPS, which most people, this is what they do. They're like, I want $250,000 this year, but if I can do 250, I'll be happy with 100. Okay. This is what most people do. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You know why? Because you get into that car. And your car, GPS, let's talk about the GPS again. You get into that car and the car says, this is where you are. Like it or not, this is your physical, this is where you are at, honey. We can't lie. This is where we are at, okay? When you have two different destinations, when you have 100,000 and a 250, because if I can't reach 250, because that's my big obnoxious goal, and I don't think I can, I'll be happy with 100. It's like being in your location and then telling your GPS, hey, take me to San Francisco, but if I can't make it all the way to San Francisco, then I think Utah's going to be fine. Your GPS can't take you to two places at the same time. It's literally impossible. So when you create yourself a plan B, when you allow yourself to accept something less, you confuse your GPS and you might get nothing. You might get neither because it doesn't know where to take you. You need to make a decision, honey. Okay? So whatever decision that you make, whatever that number is that you want to achieve this year, everyone put into the chat that we are on the same page over here. No plan B. I want you to register that in your mind. No plan B. You will not allow any other option but your plan. Good job, Lynette. Good job, Lindsay. Good job, Beato. Good job, Carmelita. Good job, Ravi. Cherry. And also when you type it, you own it. This is your own handwriting. These are your own words. You promised it. You are as good as your word. No plan B. So here's another thing that is not a part of my presentation, but it's one of my, I should add it in there because it's one of my favorite new quotes. And write this one down because this will change your life. What I don't change, I accept. So wherever you are, it's because that's the standard you set for yourself and you allowed it. This is why we don't have plan B. When we set our goals for 2026, like there's no, like, you better be so freaking certain that that is the money that you're going to make, or that is the house that you're going to live in, or that is the debt-free life that you're going to accomplish, or you're going to be eating at fancy schmancy 5-star restaurants where the minimum plate is $40 and you can easily pay for it. Whatever that lifestyle is that you want, or the car that you drive, there is no plan B. You're not settling for a Kia. So again, what you don't change, you accept. It's always us, guys. Set a deadline and visualize the finish line. Set a specific date for hitting the goal and keep it in mind. Imagine what hitting it feels like, because if you can see it, you can bring it. Some people say, I want to make more money in 2026. A dollar is money, and you're going to make it when you're 93. So this is how specific we need to be. Not only that you need to know what you want to achieve, but you have to give it a deadline. December 31st of 2026. Because if not, the universe has the rest of your life to get it done. So the universe needs to know, what do you want and by when? And then don't think about the how. That is not your job. You just need to believe. You just need to believe that it's already yours, and it's the universe's job to make it happen and bring it to you. This is why it's so important for us to believe that that's possible. Because if you believe it's possible, the universe literally has to make it happen. It does not have a choice. The universe takes your thoughts as a frequency that that is true. And that's it. So as soon as you can believe it, you can have it. I know you didn't know this is what you signed up for, right? It's a mindset game, guys. I am telling you, everything I've ever brought into my life, I brought it into my life through the power of the thought, through the secret, or what they call it, the power of attraction. Okay? Identify your strengths and weaknesses. Be real about what you are great at and what you suck at, and stay in your lane. Work with what you have and use the skills in your favor. So for example, guys, if you put me to cold call and beg someone for their business, you would not know my name today. I would be an absolute nobody, and I probably would have given up on real estate altogether. I don't have that skill. I was born with a chip on my shoulder, and I always, even before I've ever sold a house, I always thought they are freaking lucky if they get to work with me. So if you put me on a call and somebody's like, I am not paying you 3%, I would be like, bye, you're not working with me. Right? So I don't have that skill. And also, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Write this one down. If I love what I do, I never work a day in my life. So what I mean by that, if you stay in your lane, if you know what you're good at, and you stay in your lane and you only do those things, you're gonna have a skip and a jump in your steps every day. You cannot, like, at night when I go to bed, I look at my calendar to see what do I get to do tomorrow. Not what I have to do tomorrow. What do I get to do tomorrow? Today, I get paid to be me because I stay in my lane. I only do things that I'm naturally good at. I do it if I feel like it, meaning it comes natural to me. That's why I feel like it. If it feels like work, I'm hiring it out. Somebody else is going to have to do that because in my lane is where I'm going to make the most amount of money the easiest possible way. And then everything else I hire out because that needs to get done by somebody else who loves to do that. So then they don't feel like they are working. Make sense? So stay in your lane. It's very important. So now let's practice what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. And sometimes the problem with this exercise, though, that sometimes we have God-given skills, and because God just gave it to us, it comes natural and we don't even realize we have skills. Right? You're like, oh, I don't know why I do that. I just do that. It's just like, why don't you know how to do social media? It's so easy. You know what I mean? It's a skill. God gave it to me. I don't know. I didn't have to learn it. I just know what button to push and I push it. Right? But the problem with that, though, that we then don't really know our skills. So sometimes, like, well, okay, you're telling me stay in my lane, but what is my lane? So then do this exercise. Write down in your notebook. Write down in your notebook 5 to 10 people's names that you trust and they know you. So go. 5 to 10 names. First 5 to 10 that you think of. They know you and you trust them. They're like amazing humans. You give them your kidney if they needed it. Okay. After this call, I want you to send them a text message. Don't give them a heads up. Don't be like, hey, I'm doing a little bit of a research and I want you to, like, no, 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 none of that. After this call, you're going to just text them out of the blue and you're going to say, hey, bestie, one question. What am I good at? Next question. What do I suck at? And watch the messages come back and you will be so surprised. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's true. I am good at that. And then when the sucky part comes out, you're like, oh, I do suck at that. I never know what you want for your birthday. I always forget it. Or I'm not organized. I'm always late to every appointment or whatever, right? So do this exercise so then they can help you figure out what you're good at. What is your lane? Because sometimes we don't see our own God-given talent because it comes natural. So ask the people that you trust, those 5 to 10 people, don't give them a heads up. Just send them a text out of the blue today and say, hey, bestie, what am I good at? What do I suck at? Give me 5 for each. And then just sit back and have a good laugh later tonight. But that gives you your lane, and that will show you what lane to stay in. So here are some of my weaknesses. Here are some of my strengths. For me, everything is too late. When I got an idea in my head, I'm like, how come it's not already making millions? Like, what the fuck? Excuse my French, right? I am so impatient, like not on zero patient, like negative patience. When God was giving out patience, I skipped the line every time. Zero patience over here. Next one, I'm super stubborn. It's my way or the highway. That's why I have to be a boss and I have to be the one who cuts the check because in order to have people do what you want, you have to pay them. So I don't have another option. I have to be a leader. I have to be a boss because it's my way or the highway. And then I'm super disorganized. That's another reason why I have to have a team of 14 because if you ask me where's the link for the open to the public today, no idea. No idea. I'm asking one of my assistants, like I literally asked Laura earlier, like 10 minutes ago, just before the call, because I was personally sending it to someone. I had no idea where to find it. Like I tell people, go to my Instagram and comment open because I don't actually know where to find the link. So these are my weaknesses. My strengths are I'm super sociable. I can talk just about and put me in a room and I'll be best friends with everybody in the room. I can talk to anybody and I love people, right? And if you think about it, money exchanges hands when you solve a problem. Who's on the other end? Another human. So we are all in the people business. So that's one of my socials. So when I was still actively selling real estate, I called every producing listing agent and I begged them for the listings. And if they said, oh, I'm already holding it open Saturday, I'm like, okay, how about Tuesday? How about Wednesday? How about Thursday? Like I hold it open on an evening. I don't care. Just give me the opportunity because I knew as long as I can get in front of people, I'm so social, I can turn almost anybody into a client. Just get me in front of them. I need to be in front of people. That's my skill. It's my strength, right? So I know I'm sociable. Put me in front of people, I'll close them. The next one, I don't give up easily. So I don't care if somebody says no. Like I literally used to. I used to have this rule. I would call every lead that came into my dashboard. I called, texted, and emailed every single day for 7 days. And the seventh day, I would leave them a voice note if they didn't answer. And I used to say, hey, in case you didn't notice, it's a habit. If you want to put yourself out of the misery, just tell me, are you in or are you out? Because if not, I'm call, text, and emailing you for the rest of your life every day. Have you not noticed? Since the moment I got your information, I called, texted, and emailed you every single day. So they're like, are you serious right now? Are you seriously going to do this for the rest of my life? I'm like, yeah. So you want to work with me? You don't want to work with me, right? But the reason why I can do that is because I don't give up. Like, I don't care what they think of me. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, right? So that's my strengths and also sometimes not so much of my benefit. And I'm street smart. I attend trainings like this. I read every book. I go to every mastermind. I learned I want to be the smartest person in the room. And then as soon as I feel like you became that smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. That's time for you to go to the next mastermind, the next coaching program, the next event, the next. There's always a next level. You're never going to feel like, well, I guess I made it, right? Never. There's always somebody that's doing better than you that you could chase. Okay, so then the next point is now that we know our goals, in a second, I'm going to give you prompts that you're literally going to know your goals, right? Then the next thing is reverse engineering it. So now that we are agreed and accepted, I should say, where we are, and we know where we are going, we need to reverse engineer it. So now we can see the end result. The question is, what do I need to do starting here to get it done and make sure that I'm on time and I'm not running like chicken head cut off in December to reach my goals? So start from the end goal and work backwards. Break it into quarterly, monthly, weekly, and even daily steps. So you know exactly what you need to do and where you need to be. If this idea stresses you out, don't worry, I will give you the ChatGPT prompt. Okay, own your progress and adjust when needed. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to make progress. Keep your mind focused on that. If something's not working, adjust. Don't just stick with the strategy because it's familiar. Change, adapt, and adjust. If that's all, get you closer to the end goal. So what I mean by that is sometimes you get this like great idea in your head and it went one way in your head, right? Like it's going to go this way in your head. And then when you're actually in it, you're like, oh, I forgot about that. And I forgot about that. And oh my gosh, and I need to build this tracker and I need to do that and blah, blah, blah. Well, then do it, adjust. Like sometimes when you see the big picture, we don't see the nitty gritty. We don't see what it's actually going to take. So we have to adjust, and that's totally fine. Where most people will look at that, oh, my idea sucks and it's not working. No, that just means you need to adjust a couple of things and you still end up at the same end result. You didn't think of it when you thought of your big goal. So adjusting to make sure that you actually reach your goal, it's totally fine. Don't give up on your goal because it doesn't work this way. Change up a couple of things and do it that way until you reach your goal. The other thing is sometimes what happens is when the change is so minute, right? So maybe your change this year is that you promise that you're going to make a social media post every single day. It doesn't feel like a life-changing, life-altering step that you just added to your, like, wow, that's going to change my business, right? So in the everyday, in the nitty-gritty, you're going to see that it doesn't feel like change. It's like, well, yeah, I guess I made a post today. I did promise I'm going to do that. But if you look back, a 1% change a day, it's a 365% change by the end of the year. And this is why you want bite-sized pieces, because then you don't want to be stressed. You don't want to feel overwhelmed. You don't want to feel like chicken head cut off, constantly running around, stressed when you go to bed and stressed the moment you wake up. It's supposed to feel like, not even feel like change. So just kind of squeeze it into like, put it into everyday life when you don't even notice it. You just do it. It's a small little change, but 1% a day is 365% a year. It's going to be a huge change by the end of the year. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10. You know how long 10 years is? You know the best way of looking at that is your children's life if you have children.
Por favor, mi amor.
Think of them 10 years ago. Or look at your life like, do you have Google Photos or Apple Photos? Tonight, scroll 10 years back. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, we lived in a $200,000 house and now we live in a $2 million house and we had we couldn't afford vacations and we were in credit card debt, and now we are 250,000 cash in the bank account and $1 million in real estate investments. 10 years is a very long time. There's a lot that you can achieve in 10 years. You could be a brand new human. Hold yourself accountable. Goals are only as good as your follow through. Pretty much you are as good as your word. If you say you're going to do something and you didn't do it, then hey, that's who you are. That's your character. Look yourself in the mirror and accept it. Track your actions and results daily, weekly, and monthly. Celebrate wins by honest. So let's talk about this: track your actions and the celebration. So I am huge on celebrating because I don't know, it's just how I work. I like to achieve something, and I like that dangling carrot at the end. So I set for myself goals, and then I say, oh my gosh, when I achieve this, I'll buy myself that Gucci belt. When I achieve this, I'll go to the guitar hotel. I don't never know what it's called. I call it the guitar hotel because it looks like a guitar hotel. And then I'll do a whole day of spa. And I put my phone face down. When I achieve this, right? So I do that dangling carrot. So then I work really hard to achieve it because I want the achievement too, but I also want that dangling carrot that I promised to myself. Right? So I like to celebrate my wins because then I achieve more because I'm already looking forward to that next carrot. Okay. Your goals depend on showing up and doing the work every single day. And then lastly, you need to track it. And if you want to know what I track, when you go to my Instagram and Gogo's Real Estate, this very first pinned post that says this, in that one I did a carousel explaining let me try again, everything that we track in my business. So I think there is 16 trackers, anything from lead trackers to email trackers to income trackers to revenue share trackers to I track everything. I mean, literally down to the penny, literally down to how many views I get, down to how much money we spent, how much money came in. I track everything. It also helps you to sleep good at night because you know exactly where you are at. But it also helps you to make business decisions and not feelings decisions. When you don't know your numbers, then you make decisions and, ooh, I think that's a good idea. I can tell you exactly if it's a good idea or not because I can tell you down to the penny. And in business, you're making business decisions. That's why we are in business, right? We are not in the feelings business. We are in business. And in business, we make money. Okay. Set reasonable goals. What I mean by that, I want them to be obnoxious, but reasonably obnoxious. What I mean by that is, guys, I'm 5'2". I have size 4.5 feet. That's what God blessed me with in this lifetime. Okay. There's no way, doesn't matter how long I would be practicing and how early I would get up. If you put me next to Michael Jordan and we practice for the same amount of time, he will kick my ass time after time after time. No chance for me winning. So if there are skills that God didn't put in you, then don't set goals that you set yourself up for failure. You know what I mean? So this is why we need to know what our strengths are and stay in our lane. Because if you do something in another way, where does the sun set? Where does the sun? East is where it rises, right? East where the sun rises.
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yep. East
So
and West.
another quote, in another way I can say it, it doesn't matter how fast you run towards east, you will never see a sunset. Does that make sense? So when you set your goals, set them obnoxious but reasonable based on the skills that God gave you. Because if not, you set yourself up for failure, and that's not pretty. Okay, now let's talk about CPR. C stands for commitment, P stands for penalty, R stands for rewards. Who wants to play this game with me? All you need to know is your goal and your commitment for 2026. Raise your hand. Come on, I don't bite. We'll just sit here until somebody volunteers. And I won't do the rest of the training until somebody volunteers. Because I don't want a monologue. You came here to learn something. You came here to set a new goal. You came here to achieve it, and you better own up to it. So who wants to tell us what your goals are for 2026? One goal, not all of them, but one.
I'll start 40 transactions.
Hi, Kina. Thank you for putting everybody out of their misery because we were about to end the training right here. I love it. So your commitment. So write down C, commitment, 40 transactions. And everybody play along. Okay. So it's Kina, right? Am I pronouncing it right?
Yep.
Okay. So C for you, 40 transactions by the end of December 31st of 2026. P is your penalty. Kina, tell me, what's going to happen if you don't achieve your goals? Assuming you're a woman of your word, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
What's gonna happen if I don't?
Yeah, how are we going to penalize you? So do you have kids?
I do.
Do you love coffee
Yes.
or alcohol?
Yes.
What do you love? What do you really love? Like you love it, there's no way you can live without it.
Mm, my husband.
Ooh, okay. Here goes your sexy time, Kina. Okay. Penalty is if you don't sell 40 homes, you do not get to touch your husband. You do not get to get a hug or a kiss or anything in the whole month of January next year. No touchy, nothing, no affection, no words of affirmation. Like he might as well be dead to you. You might even sleep on the floor. You will not touch that man.
Mm-mm. Not
Okay?
gonna
Are you going to sell 40
happen.
houses this year?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Because if it's like there's no freaking way I'm not touching my husband, I'm not getting a hug or words of affirmation or a text or eye contact. No, there's no love to you, girl. Nothing in next year, January, if you don't sell 40 houses. Okay? Your reward. What's gonna happen if you do get it done?
If I do get it done, I am going to go to I'm going to take a trip to Japan.
With the hubs?
Yep.
I love it. Okay. So now let's sort of go for that too. So if not, sorry, here's another word, then I need to correct myself. Not if you get it done, it's when you get it done. Okay. So no more ifs in your vocabulary because if is a 50-50 chance, when is a matter of time. So Kina, when you get it done and you sell 40 transactions and next year in January, I want you to book the trip. So we're not gonna set it out there of sometime you're gonna go to Japan. You close 40 deals in December by December 31st, or as soon as you close those 40 deals, no later than end of January of 2027, that Japan trip is booked. You and hubby going to have some, touchy time in Japan. Okay.
Yep.
Other end of the world. I love it. Okay. So this is everyone's CPR, guys. But now here's the thing. If you're not a man or a woman of your word, as soon as you don't do it, you gave up your word. And then I don't know if you're gonna like looking at that human in the mirror next year because you lied to yourself. Because it's how you do anything, is how you do everything. And then well, it's a habit and it's my character. And we are not going to allow that to happen, right, Kina?
No.
Nope. So everybody else, let's do this exercise super quick. I'll give you 1 minute. So do C, under it P, under it R. C is your commitment. Thank you, Kina, for saving everyone and playing along and making it fun. Okay, so C is your commitment. What is your goal? What do you commit to in 2026? You can do this with multiple different exercises, but let's just be very specific with one for now so you can get into the exercise. The reason why I do CPR on myself is because when you write it down, it's real. When you say it out loud, now it's really real because now everybody's gonna hit up Kina and be like, Kina, did you hit your goals, honey? In November, we're gonna be like, Kina, how you doing? Girl, like, how far are we from 40? And she's gonna be like, oh, I hit 40 in July. Like, I've been all over this man since July. Okay. So you have to do it to own up to it and also to write it down and commit to yourself and also to have a commitment that you need to keep, right? But the P and the R, the penalty and the reward are in there because sometimes we are driven by penalty and sometimes we are driven by rewards. Okay. So sometimes you might say, if you set your penalty high enough, so let's say you have dogs or you have kids, but let's just play the dog thing, right? Let's say you love your dogs and they freaking cuddle with you every night and you just love it. You can't wait to go to bed because they're right up in your neck, right? Then your penalty has to be set to something that would hurt. Like you have to close the door and that dog is going to cry in front of the door all night long, but you're not letting them in because you didn't sell 40 houses. And now the dog is suffering over there. So when you set your penalty, you are like, there's no freaking way. There's no freaking way that I'm not hugging my husband for a whole month. There is no way. So I'm going to sell 40 houses, period. right? And sometimes it's the reward. Sometimes you wanted that Gucci belt so freaking long, then you're like, there's no freaking way I'm not buying that Gucci belt for myself this year. Whatever that is. So sometimes it's penalty, sometimes it's reward. So in other ways, sometimes we go away from pain and towards pleasure, or vice versa. So just depending what drives you. Depending on did you set a high. So if your penalty, let's say, is like, oh, I can drink coffee for a day. Are you gonna get it done? You're like, I can do a day with no coffee, big deal, right? So that's why it's very important that both the penalty and the reward be something really big. Like for the reward, something that you usually can't afford, right? But this time when you made all the money, oh, you're gonna buy it for yourself. So I do CPR on myself for multiple reasons because sometimes there are things I don't feel like doing. I just don't feel like it, but it needs to get done. And then I set a CPR for myself because I will do it for the dangling carrot. I will do it for that Chanel purse, right? So that's why we do CPR, okay? And do it all the time. When you set a new goal, do a CPR and stick it somewhere where you can see it every day, okay? And then disclose it with people so then they can hold you accountable for it. Let's calculate your commission goal for 2026. Who's the next person who wants to play along with me? This is going to be math, but I promise I run all your math for you. I just need to know your goals. Who wants to play this one? I'll do the math. You don't have to do the math. I'll do the math. You just tell me your goal.
I'll do it.
Love it. Hi, Sherry.
Hey.
How's California treating you?
It's actually very warm compared to the East Coast. We're way warmer than we usually are this time of year, which is even our mountain towns.
I'm in
Yeah.
like a sweater, and I'm in Florida, and we had like 29 degrees, I think, tonight.
Oh my goodness.
That's like crazy. Like we are like
We get really cold, but then this year we have not. No snow in our local resorts, nothing. It's weird. It's really weird.
It's a weird weather. Okay, so income goal for 2026. How much money would you like to make?
I want to make 120,000.
Okay. Next question. What's the average price range in your neck of the woods?
430.
Okay. And what is the average commission percentage that you charge?
3%.
Okay, so we're gonna take the 430,000 times 3%. That is 12,900 in average. Now, we can do it like down to the penny. So let's do it down to the penny since you're at EXP because there's gonna be some fees. Okay, so we're gonna take the average commission 12,900. You're going to have to pay 20% of that until you cap to the company. 12,900 times 20%, which is 2,580. We have a 16,000 cap. So we're going to take your 16,000 cap divided by 2,580. So we know it's going to take you 6 transactions to cap. Okay, so on the first 6 transactions, you're going to be paying 20% to the company. So that we know your original transaction is 12,900. We are going to take the 20% out of it. So that leaves us with $10,320. Okay. We're going to do that 6 times because we know you're going to pay cap for 6 of them. So that is $61,920. Okay. So on the first 61,000 is what's going to make you cap at the company. After that, you're no longer paying your 20% to the company. So you're going to take your $12,900, but you do have a $250 transaction fee after that. So that takes you down to $12,650. Let's take your $120,000 goal minus the $61,920 because we know you have to do that many to cap. That leaves us with $58,080. We're going to divide that by 12,650 because that's your average commission. So that's 4.5 transaction. I'm going to round up to 5. Okay, because we can do a half transaction. So pretty much it's going to take you, honey, 11 transactions to make $120,000 after fees. So 1 a month and take December off and celebrate. 1 a month at 430,000 at 3%.
I did write 12 transactions because that 12th transaction would pay for a vacation.
There you go. So you got it. Really, it's 1 a month.
Awesome.
That's how easy it is for you to make your goal in 2026 is 1 a month. Now you have to think about, okay, what is your closing rate? So where are your leads coming from and how many of them do you convert, right? So what would be the quickest way for you to do in a month? For me, if I was back in production, for me, that would be open houses. Because my skill is being in front of people and social media. So if you don't have listings, what I would do, if you have listings, hold them open. If you don't have listings, reach out to the local realtors, ask them if you can hold their listing open, market it on your social media to generate the traffic. And think of it this way. Let's say you do an open house on a Saturday and a Sunday. There's 4 of those in a month, right? So that's 8 opportunities. Okay. Out of 8 opportunities, how many people do you think in average are going to show up at your open house? Have you ever done an open house?
Oh yeah.
Okay, what's the average traffic at your open house?
Um, well, last year was a little rough, but I would say anywhere between 4 and 5 is average groups.
Okay, so should we do 5 then to keep the math simple?
Sure.
Okay, so we do 5 at every open house, but you're gonna do 8 of them a month. That's 40 opportunities. What do you think your closing rate is from the 40? Meaning, how many of those do you think don't have a realtor representation? You can convince them to work with you, and you can actually get them to close at least one of them a month. So out of 40, how many closings do you think if you did your best? Like, I mean, you are nailing it, you're following up, you're sending them, you're showing them houses, you're sending them the listings, market reports, chitty chatting with them, you got them pre-approved, all of that. Out of 40, how many do you think you can turn into a client?
I would say at least half, 20.
If you can close at a 50% closing rate, honey, you're
Yeah,
gonna make way more than $120,000. You're gonna make
that's the
$120,000
goal.
in the first month.
That's the goal.
So if you can close 20, I would say 50%
10.
closing rate is very high. You might have 50% what I would call potential, right?
Right.
Like they're like, yeah, I mean, we are on the market. We have a realtor, but you convince them your realtor sucks because if your realtor didn't suck, you wouldn't be at an open house by yourself. You would have a private showing. We all know that, right? So let's say 50% of them start a conversation with you, but how many of them do you think out of those 20 will actually get to the closing table?
Maybe 10, 5, 10.
Okay, so if we do 5 or 10, let's do 10, so that's another 50%, right? So that means you're going to do an open house every Saturday and Sunday. That means at least 5 couples or 5 people are going to come to each open house. You're going to get their information. That equals to 40 new connections every single month because Saturday and Sunday, I'm pimping you out, girl. You're going to be working weekends. Okay. So that means out of those, you're saying 50% you could potentially turn into potential customers. Now we are at 20 people, and you believe that out of those 20, you have a 50% closing rate where they're actually going to buy something with you in 2026. That's 10 in January alone, right? So if we are taking that, that would be 120 potential closing. Your average commission is 12,650. You would make $1,518,000.
Looks like I'm holding open houses for the rest of 2026.
That's what I said. If this is true, if your closing rate is 50%, and we are taking that 10 of them, because you're going to get 40 come through in January, 20 of you are going to start conversations with 10 of them going to close with you. That's pretty much your closings for the year because you need 12.
Yeah. I mean, 12 would change my life, let alone
Okay, so
like
not would, will.
it will. It's
Yeah,
going
it will
to.
change your life because there is no what? No plan,
No.
no plan B.
Yes,
There's no
absolutely
plan
not.
B. Your goal is 120,000 at minimum. And minimum 120,000, which is 1 transaction a month. Which if you're a woman of your word and you say you're going to close at a 50% closing rate, that means you need 4 people to show up the whole month because you going to start conversations with 2 and you're going to close one of them because you only need 1 closing to reach 120. So now you realize, holy shit, this is so easy. Why was I overthinking this? Now if I want to double my income, I need to close 2 people. I said I can close 10.
Wow. Yeah.
Literally, if the math is mathing, and if you can truly get 40 people to come through and start conversations with 20 of them and close 10 of them, you are at 1.5 million for the year,
Wow.
not at 120,000. This is why it's so important to know your goals and then reverse engineer it. What do I actually need to do? And what is the quickest, most fun possible way for me to get there? So now I use the open house strategy, share, because that's what I enjoy doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you might say that you're going to cold call or you're going to door knock or you're going to send mailers or whatever that is working for you. I know that for me, the quickest, most fun way to a client was to get me in front of them.
I tried door knocking, cold calling last year, and it was miserable. It didn't
It's
lead me
not
anywhere.
It is
Yeah.
not my thing. I can't do it. I can't beg someone to work with me. To me, that seems desperate. Put me in front of them. I freaking close anybody. Give me an open house.
I didn't
Okay?
like getting the door slammed on my face.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it either. At an open house, they come to you. So
Yeah.
then you need to get really good at marketing open houses. So we would take 40 yard signs out. So you're going to have to invest into a little bit into yard signs because
I
we would
have
have 40 yard signs, like every 5 feet coming into the neighborhood on each side, there is 20 open house signs with freaking balloons. You can't miss my open houses. And at the end of the driveway, there was this 7-foot thing of me, a picture of me that says open house on it, right? And those are how much we just bought those 7-foot flag. Laura, how much was it? We bought it for a different thing, but
The flag, I think it was only like $100. I have to go back and check.
okay. So Sherry, can you put a link in here, Laura, for those flags so they see what I'm talking about? So Sherry, you can go into this printing company that I literally just ordered a 7-foot flag. You can, I did it for the Team Gogo event that we had down on the beach. So if you guys saw us walking by with those big 7-footers in my social media, that's what we got. So I want your picture, a 7-foot picture of you, and there, and it's just gonna say open house, and then your name, Sherry Hill. Okay, so but we're gonna do the open house from top to bottom vertically all the way down, right next to you, right? And so they can't miss it because it's the end of the and it sticks right into the ground. So at each end of the driveway, you're gonna stick it into the ground, and it just waves in the wind. Laura, did you put the link into the chat?
I'm grabbing it right now. Just give me one more minute.
Awesome. Okay, just let me know when it's there so I can open it up. So that's it. Sherry, sounds good?
absolutely my
Honey, you're gonna make it, you're gonna
vision's
get your
even
goal in
bigger
January.
now. Yay.
Exactly.
I
Way
need it.
bigger. I
Thank you.
love it. Thank you for playing along. For everybody else, this is how you do it, right? You're going to take your income goal. You're going to say, okay, what's the average house around you that you sell? Do you charge 2.5%, 2.75, 3%? So you multiply that to get your average commission. You're going to deduct the fees that you're going to pay to your brokerage. And then you're going to divide the total amount by that standard commission size. And that's it. You know how many homes you need to do. And then you divide it by 12. And you know exactly how many you need to do in a month. So in Keena's plays that we know that she wants to do 40 in 12 months. So 40 divided by 12, you have to do 3.33, 3.5 a month. So just do 4 a month, and that's going to be a really nice vacation to Japan.
Okay.
Okay, one a week, pretty much what it comes down to. One closings a week, and you are balling, and you're going to Japan. Yes, Macy.
Okay, 2 questions off of the open house. So I know I've been told, correct me if I'm wrong, but an EXP, because of the E&O insurance,
You
we
can only
can't let
hold
people,
EXP listings open, yeah.
right? So we can't let people, other agents open our open houses, but we can hold other, like if we went to
No. You
Century
can have other agents hold yours. They just have to be EXP agents. You
EXP
can,
agents, right?
yeah, you
But
cannot have a Remax agent hold yours open.
right, but we can go to Remax and ask
No,
them.
no. Your E&O does not cover you there either. Is it ready,
Okay, so we
Laura?
can only go ask other
EXP.
EXP
Yeah.
agents. Okay. And then when you get into the open houses, most agents don't go with their clients. Obviously, I mean, every open house I've gone to, it's been maybe 1% of agents go and actually go with their clients.
Mhm.
But when you have clients come in and say, oh, we already have agents,
Of
what do
course,
you,
they're going to say that buyers are liars. Write it down. Buyers are liars. But we all know that if the realtor was so amazing, wouldn't they already privately seen this house?
right,
So there's a reason why they are without the realtor this weekend looking at open houses, because their realtor sucks and probably not available. Probably
right,
it's out boating this weekend.
right.
So as long as you outwork them, you will gain them as clients. And buyers are liars. They're going to lie that they have an agent. So as soon as I would walk out of that open house, here's another trick. So I have a whole training on this, guys, in our community, but I'll give you this super quick. As soon as you go out, so the open house is over, right? Everybody signs in, so you have everybody's information and have them sign in digitally, not on a piece of paper. So it automatically goes into your KV Core or Bolt Tray or whatever CRM program that you use. And
Now,
then
what if they won't sign in?
then you don't allow a tour. So with
Okay,
my sellers, I pretty much with every seller that I ever had, I said, hey, listen, I would strongly recommend to have a requirement, and anybody that walks through your home that we know who they are. What if someone's missing and something's missing in the end of the home? You didn't know who walked through,
right.
right? So just like with the private showing, we know exactly who walked through at what time because the agent has to register. I do the same thing at open houses. We require registration in order for you to tour the home. If you don't want to register, that's totally fine. You're just not going to get a tour.
Right.
Right. So that's what I used to do. So with that, when after they register, do it in a CRM like KV Core Bold Trail that have an automatic open house sign in. It dumps right into your CRM program. And then as soon as the open house was over, I would do a video like this. And here's a trick: you call everybody by name. So if you think, Sher, that you're gonna have 5 families walk through, that's 5 voice message, like video messages. That's not that hard. You lock up the house, and before you even leave the driveway, you're sitting in the car and you say, hey, look at your login sheet. Hey, Jessica and John. Oh my gosh, it was so nice to know you guys. This is Gogo from the open houses 123 Main Street. Just wanted to let you know we had 5 couples walk through today. 2 of them are super interested. More than likely, they're making an offer. If this home is for you, if you really love it, I strongly recommend to make the offer today. If you don't have an agent who can make the offer, I would love to represent you. I'm available. Just call me back on this number. And now if I told you that we have 2 offers that are coming today, and you know that you're in an open house because your realtor is clearly not answering their phones or not available because you're privately touring a property and you don't want to miss out and you want to make an offer. Hey, terminate that contract because they're not doing their fiduciary duty anyway, and use someone who will. But more than likely, they don't have a buyer's agency signed. They're just walking around and they don't feel like being sold. So they're going to lie to you that they have an agent. But when they fall in love with that house and they know that they could possibly be missing out, you could win their business. Okay. And that's it. And then I follow up the following day to be like, hey, did you guys thought about it? Also follow up, not just asking if they thought about it, but give them something else and just be like, hey, by the way, this one, we got an offer last night, as I told you, right? Whatever the truth is. But I don't want you guys to feel bad. So I sent you 10 similar homes in the nearby area. It's already in your email. Right? And that's it. Leave it in their court. And it's their decision if they want to hit you up or not hit you up or work with you or not work with you. But out hustle everybody else. Okay. Any questions? Okay, let's talk about, I have the prompts that I'm going to give you guys. So I'm going to walk you through this one, but later you can download the prompt and actually copy and paste it right into your ChatGPT and go through with the whole thing. This is just a portion of the prompt. In a second, I'm going to show you the full 4 prompts that's going to take you not only help you figure out what your specific goal is, and what you need to get done quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily to reach it, but also how to build the mindset around it, that you need to become that person, and also a marketing plan to actually reach it. Okay, so it's like a full-blown machine. I have a specific goal I want to achieve by December 31st of 2026. Here's the goal, and insert, and this is where you're going to insert, because this is where you're going to copy it and plug it into your ChatGPT and insert your actual goal. Insert a detailed description of the goal, including specific like income, career level, lifestyle. Here are the skills I bring to the table to reach this goal, and this is where you're going to put in your strengths. List relevant skills like negotiation skills, social media marketing skills, client relationship management, public speaking, all of that. Please create a reverse engineer plan for me broken down into clear, actionable goals for each quarter, month, week, and day. Include the following. And here's where it gets funny or amazing. Quarterly goals, major objectives I need to hit every 3 months to stay on track. Monthly goals, focused targets that build towards my quarterly goals. Weekly actions, consistent actions I should take weekly to make steady progress. Daily non-negotiables, small but essential steps I must take every day. Also hold me. Oh my gosh, I can't read. Help me set up a follow-up and evaluation system that's specific on frequency, evaluation metrics, and adjustments. Okay, when you need to adjust. Here's an imaginary scenario. We also included this into the prompts for you guys. I have a specific goal I want to achieve by December 31st, 2026. Here it is. So this is just an example. Of course, you're not going to use this. You're going to put in your specific scenario. I want to grow my real estate business. So Keena's going to put in here, I want to sell 40 homes by December 31st, 2026, right? You're going to put in your goal in here. I want to grow my real estate business to generate 1 million in revenue each year. To do this, I aim to close 100 high value deals in 2026, bring 5,000 quality leads through social media and live and live events, and build a strong personal brand that positions me as the top 1% agent nationwide. I also want to expand my business to work in multiple markets with a team of 10 top agents and support staff who performs at a high level. Here are the skills I bring to the table to reach this goal: expert negotiation, advanced social media marketing, strong client relationship management, effective public speaking, and a high level of organization and strategic thinking. Please create a reverse engineer plan for me, broken down into clear, actionable goals to each quarter, month, week, and day. Include the following: quarterly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily non-negotiables. Those are the small but essential steps I must take every single day to reach my goal. Also, give me the frequency, the evaluation metrics, and the adjustments. But the most important part, this is, believe it or not, this is the most important part. Finally, include any mindset or accountability strategies that helps keep me consistent, focused, and energized in reaching this ambitious goal. If your ChatGPT knows you, it will tell you your weaknesses. Tell me, what are my weaknesses that I need to work on to make sure that this gets done? Because my ChatGPT knows me. So I have the QR code for you guys that you can get it, but I just wanted you to see that what I showed you here is just two parts to what you actually get in the prompt. In the prompt, you get your reverse engineering your goals, like the actual financial side of it. Agent attraction. So if you want to do agent attraction, I have a whole prompt for you of what agent to target, where to find them, what to say, how often to post, what to say, call to action, all that. Find your ideal client. Most people don't even know who their ideal client is. Sherry, we know for you, and I'm happy that you know it. You know that your ideal client wants to buy a $430,000 home. So you're not going to hold open houses at $170,000, are you? Because you're going to have to get two of those. But you might hold open houses at 1.5 million because you get one of those, and that's 3 transactions because your average is 430. Make sense? So this is why you need to be very specific. Who is your ideal client? And that the faster you know who your ideal client is, the easier it is to convert them to become your customer, right? And then because then you know who you're targeting. And then you have buyers and sellers marketing for real estate, and all this is in this prompt. You can scan it here. Everything that I already showed you plus those things. Okay, so it's a full prompt. It's not just the two that I showed you here, but also ideal client, ideal agent, and the buyers and sellers, and the full marketing plan. And the team can also put it into the chat for you guys, because if you're on your phone, you can scan it. Okay, so team, make sure you put it into the chat for them as well, please. Okay, so here comes the mindset portion of it. And maybe one of them or a few of them is going to talk to you. Quotes talk to me for whatever reason. That's how my brain works. And finally, something gets really nailed in. So I'm going to go through some of these quotes, and I feel like go along with our subject today. If you want to have what the top 1% has, you have to do what 99% is not willing. You can't make $1 million with $50,000 mindset and work ethic. You remember, you're going to look yourself in the eye. What you don't change, you accept. So if you want to make $120,000, you better have $120,000 work ethic. Nothing works unless you do. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. This is why it's so important to imagine it, to think it, to see it, to believe it, then it's already yours. Because if you can't imagine that, you're telling the universe you can't have it. You're not deserving of it. You don't have what it takes. And so the universe cannot give it to you. If you don't build your dreams, someone will hire you to build theirs. If you don't find a way to make money while you are asleep, you will work until you die. So this is where you're going to set up your automated messages that go out and follows up with people and sends them market reports and, all that follow-up. So then you can actually have a life and sleep at night. So it's very important to also set up the back end of things and automate your life so then you can make money while you're sleeping. All of those things are happening. Automation is super important. This one blew my mind when I read it the very first time. We all live in cages with the doors wide open. What that means is let me show you this exercise. I'm going to stop sharing for a second and I'm going to tell you how I learned this one. So I was at a Tony Robbins event. And when I go to an event, I'm that teacher's pet. I'm front and central. And if they open it up for Q&A, I'm the first one and I have a million questions, right? So this guy comes on stage. His name is Joseph something. He's always there at every Tony Robbins event, and he's one of the speakers, right? And he's freaking hilarious. He's one of the cutest, funniest humans. He goes on there. He can rile up the whole audience, and everybody's dancing, and we all touching our butts, and like it's amazing. He's like super funny, super like great human, right? And he says on the stage, and we are talking, there is like 9,000 people in this room, okay? And he says, raise your hand if you feel like that most of the time you live outside of the box. And I was like, oh my gosh, me, I raised both of my hands. I'm like, me, I push the envelope all the time. They tell me you can't do this. I'm like, I'm going to do it and ask for forgiveness, not permission, right? So I was super proud. I had both of my hands up. I'm like, I push the envelope. I live outside of the box most of the time. And I was proud with both hands up, right? He goes, there is no box. There is no box. Whatever level that you accepted for yourself, you accepted that yourself. You put yourself into that box. You said, I can make $100,000 this year. Why didn't you say $1 million? Because that's the box that you put yourself in. Guys, there is no box. The same way you would make $5,000, the same way you make 120, the same way you make $1 million, the same way you make 10, is that box that we put ourselves into. We put ourselves into that box. We say that that's what I think I'm worth. That's what I believe that I can achieve this year. Now, let me show you this image and let me read it to you one more time. We all live in cages with the doors wide open. You can fly out of that box and you can go and do whatever you want to do, honey. Set a bigger box, a bigger cage. So I'll tell you another story. This will nail it in. So I got a coach one year and she asked me how much money I want to make. And this is a long time ago. I was still at Real Estate One. And I told her there's a first part to this story because I kind of learned two lessons, but I'm going to skip you on the first one. I'm going to go to the second part. I finally set a goal to $150,000. I made $76,000 the year before, so I thought doubling it would be like, holy shit, right? So I said, I'm going to make $150,000 this year. Guess how much I made that year? 156, right around 150. I learned two things from that. Lesson number one, holy shit, this works. Lesson number two, why didn't I set a bigger goal? Because that's what I believed. I believe that if I can do 76, I can do 150, right? That's the cage. That's the box. I set that box. And then the following year, I was like, ooh, can I double that? Following year, I went to 420. The year after that, I went to 870. But it's almost like we just like, we play this game with ourselves. Like we are inching there. What if we just fucking sprinted the 4-minute mile? Excuse my French. What if you set that big, fat, freaking obnoxious goal and you start biting away at it and you skip that whole, oh, let's double it this year and let's double it again next year and then let's double it again next. Why? You are who you are. If you can make $1 million 5 years from now, you can make $1 million this year. It's the same human. So let's read this again. Let that nail in. We all live in cages with the doors wide open. So question from now on, your box and where you put yourself and why you put yourself into that box and why you accepted it. You remember what we're not changing, we are accepting. Sometimes you have to say no to good things in order to make time for great things. So when you spend your time, this is one of my favorite questions is who can tell me what's the enemy of good? And everybody says the enemy of good is bad. No, the enemy of good is great. Because while you're spending your time on good ideas, you're not saving any time for great ideas. So when you are doing this entrepreneurship thing, we have options because we create our own cages. Remember, we create our own boxes. And some of our ideas are good ideas and it might make you $1,000. And some of your ideas might be great ideas and make you $10,000. Which one should you do? You should do the great idea. We're not dumb, right? But if you don't have time because you're spending it all on the good ideas, right? This is why we have to learn to say no to good ideas so then we save the time for the great ideas. You don't, and you also have to track it to know the difference between a good idea and a bad idea. That's why we have trackers. So we know I spend 8 hours here and it makes me $4,000, and I spend 8 hours here and it makes me $40,000. Where should I spend my time? Here. This is a great idea. This is a good idea. You don't have time. You don't have a time problem. You have a priority problem. How many times you met somebody who's like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. I don't have time for this. It could be the best opportunity of their lifetime and they don't have time for it. They don't have time problem. They have a priority problem. They're setting the wrong things in the wrong order. They're putting good ideas in front of great ideas. So nobody has a time problem. Everybody on this earth has 24 hours, and some of us able to figure out how to make billions, and some of us don't know how to pay the bills. And again, it's not a time problem. It's a priority problem. Don't half-ass it. If you're going to half-ass it, you're going to regret it because it's going to eat away at your soul knowing that I could have done better. If it's your life, and so here is, don't take this personally, but I'm Eastern European and this is my dad's quote and I have to throw it in there every time to really nail it in. It's your own life and you can fuck it up however you want to. And I shared this story because I asked my dad back in the day if I could go party with these kids. They were not the good kids. And it would have nothing good happens after midnight, right? We all know that. So it was one of those things. And I asked my dad if I can do. And this is what my dad responded. It's your own life. You can fuck it up however you want to. Ask me if I went to that party. I did not. So every decision you make and every decisions you have made by far got you to where you at. So we just need to make better decisions to take us to where we want to go. And then lastly, this is me. If you want to know anything about me, you can scan it. That scan will take you to gogobethke.com so you can kind of just see who I am, what I do. And if I can ever help you, you can find me on Gogo's Real Estate on Instagram. And on Instagram, I read every single message and I get back to you guys personally on Instagram. If you message me anywhere else, so Instagram and Gogo's Real Estate, if you message me anywhere else, you're talking to one of my assistants and there's 14 of them. Okay. That's it for today. Questions, concerns, takeaways. I'm here to answer them. I have some time. Hi, Jackson. New haircut. I love it. Love it. What was your biggest takeaway, guys? What talked to you? You guys are so welcome. So every time something talks to you, it talks to you for a reason. Because that's what you're supposed to do something about. That's like the, oh shit, I need to really handle that side of my business. Denise, sorry.
Yeah, this like really speaks to me because it's exactly where I'm at right now and exactly what I need. Like I understand the frequency and all that. I've been doing that and it's changing my whole world. But I need more of this discipline.
Isn't that so? I went to a Dr. Joe Dispenza and I have meditated my whole life. I call it more like prayer, like I go to talk to God, but come to find out that's meditation. Who knew? Like I have no book of how to do this, right? And I went to Dr. Joe Dispenza because I wanted to figure out of ginger, cayenne, lemon garlic. Let's do lemon garlic. Yeah. I wanted to figure out, like, am I meditating right? Like, is there a science behind this? Like, is there a method you're supposed to follow? Like, I know it's working because and if you guys are here, put your cameras on. I don't want to talk to myself. I want to talk to you. And so I wanted to see if like, I know it's working because I can see the results in my life, but I don't know if there's like a method that you could get to the frequency faster and, like who are my guardian angels and who am I talking to and who's guiding me and, like those type of things. And it blew my mind. Actually, Alexis is on here. We did it together. The Dr. Joe Dispenza thing. We did the 7 days. Blew my mind. Blew my ever loving mind. The first 3 days I was not connecting, but after that, it's like the messages that I got and the visions that I got. Wow, we are playing small. Like God literally gives us the best possible life that we can possibly want for ourselves, but you have to want it. You have to slow down enough to actually like know, what do you want? Oh, and here's another thing, because money doesn't like, if you came to this as like, Coco, I made all of that money and I'm not happy. Like, I just want to like get something that like makes me excited to wake up tomorrow morning, right? There is a great training called Frank Kern, My Perfect Day. Is it My Perfect Day? It's not perfect. It's a different word. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's
I
Frank.
do, but I can't remember it now that you bring
Oh,
it
then
up.
I have
It was
to.
Frank Kern. Yeah, perfect. That was my perfect day.
Frank Kern. Let's see if I can find it. I'm gonna put in perfect day, but I don't think it is a perfect day. It is.
Yeah, I would say it
That was
sounds
right.
about right.
Yes. So put in Frank Kern perfect day into YouTube. And the one you want to find was 11 years ago. I think it's this one. Yeah, like 10 or 11 years ago, something like that. It's called The Perfect Day. So most of us are just trained to make enough money to pay the bills. So you're not stressed over finances, right? And then you reach that and you're like, but I have extra. And then now what? Am I so like what does actually make you happy? Like I'm going this weekend for 3 days to learn how to invest into stocks. I'm excited. I can't wait. Right? So you're going to have to slow down enough to figure out, what do you actually want? What does your perfect day looks like? Like, do you cook dinner every night to your family? Do you work out in the mornings? Do you walk your dogs or somebody else walking your dogs? Do you work all day? Do you work later in the night because you're a night owl and wake up later in the morning like me? Like, what is your perfect day looks like? And then what if you could achieve that? What if you could actually, and if I say if, I'm going to just, don't ever use if ever again. No if. When we achieve that, could you imagine? Thank you, Jessica. I don't know why I said if again. See, everyone's a progress, but work in progress. But most of the time, we don't eat. We just chase something to chase it to pay the bills. But is that the plan for life? No, it's not. What kind of house do you want to live in? Do you want to eat organic foods? Does your coffee is a cappuccino coming out of a thing, or is it just a boring black coffee? Like, what would make your heart happy? What would the most perfect day look like? And then let's work everything around it. So you can have it all. You can have that body, you can have the dogs, you can have the kids, and you can cook dinner, and you can have it all. And I know, Denise, I said the dogs because yes, last night we talked and you had a few of them. And yes, that's why. Cherry.
Thank you so much. This was so awesome. You wanted us to speak on what spoke to us. Well, this came through as a confirmation for me, and I'll tell you why. I do cold calls, expired calls every morning. Don't like it. I tussle with them on the phone all day. And I was told, I went to go do a part-time job a couple of months ago, and a person there told me, he's like, you have to get in front of people. He's like, you're great on the phones, but you need to get in front of people. And that's what you said. And now my brain is like working overtime because I'm going to do open houses. So thank you. And you gave a wealth of knowledge anyway, but that spoke to me because I felt like with all the stuff, all of the information I got from that environment, that was the one thing that stood out. And then here you come with the confirmation. So just being in your lane and
Okay, so
doing
stay
that
in your
thing.
lane because then you look forward to like that Saturday. You're like, you can't wait to be Saturday to be in front of those people so you can talk to someone because you're gonna close them like this because you're in your element. versus being on a 400 phone calls and maybe one of them says, sure, well, like, call me back in 3 months, right? That feels like work to me. You know what I mean? So if we all stay in the lane, in the God-given talent that God put into you, you're going to love it. You're going to look forward to it. And you're going to see the results. And then you're going to want to do it even more. Then you're going to build a whole team around it. You know what I mean? So, Cherry, I see some amazing open houses, and I have met you in person, and you are an amazing, bubbly, sweet human. You need to be in front of people. So, open houses, I see a lot of them in your future. Realtor. Realtor with your hand up.
Hi, sorry. So I've been following you for a very long time. I'm from Canada.
Hi.
So just wanted to add this that I've been super sick for, I would say, the whole of January. I'm still bedridden, but
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
picking up the pieces, and I think I needed to hear this because with this whole thing, it's making me already my brain's working on realigning. I lost a month. Like as of today morning, I was telling my husband my whole January was a write-off. But now I
But
feel like I really, for me, the fire was there is no box.
can you imagine how I felt? I literally had both, and I was front and freaking central in a room full of 9,000 people, and I had both of my hands up.
Like I have goosebumps listening to that. And so for me, it's like, no, it wasn't a write-off. It was maybe God's way to say, slow down. Because I'm like all over the place, that kind of stuff. I took a little backseat after COVID from being a super social person to I don't want to get in front of people. But now kind of saying, there is no box, man. There, if I can go out and do something, even if it's wrong, it's one step better than not doing anything.
Yeah.
So
And you know the quote that you have to pull the arrow back to aim it? Right? So your January is this arrow back. God pulled you back. Slow down. Take a breather. Take a 10,000-foot view of your business. Figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it. Stay in your lane. And then in February 1st, when you start feeling better, girl, you're going to hit that ground running. You're going to do circles around everyone because you're going to be so fresh because you were in bed and you got all the rest in January. You're ready
well,
for February.
I'm not going to say about that part. The blessing has been I still have 3 listings, even though I was in bed. Sellers were super cooperative. So I'm kind of saying that was God's way. And these were some of those listings were people I didn't know. They found me from somewhere.
And
So
that's the beauty of social media marketing, right? So I'm assuming you probably do something like that, or you have a good
thing
Google My
like that, but
Business,
it
or
was from, yeah, it was something, but I'm kind of taking this, there is no box to kind of realign because whatever I now do, there is no box holding me back.
Isn't it
Thank you so
awesome when
much.
you realize you're so welcome? Isn't it awesome when we realize that we put ourselves into this and then you start questioning like, why did I only ask for 150,000? Why did I accept that 150,000 bucks for myself? I did that. I accepted that. So that's what I made. Right? There's no
Thank you.
box. You're welcome. I love it. I love it. I am not joking, guys. Yes, I'm very systematic and I'm very good with math and I know processes like no one's business and I can help you with all of that. But none of it is matters unless you have this 6 inches straight. If you don't believe that you can't do it, I don't care what opportunity is going to show up in front of you, you're not going to take action. You're not going to need the systems and the processes and the CRMs and the ChatGPTs of the world if you don't believe in the end result. It's never going to happen because you're not going to take action, matching action to that frequency, right? So that's why it's super important to have your head straight. You're done holding yourself back? Yes. Sherry, what box did you put yourself in? Bigger box. Love it. Thank you everyone for being here. We do these trainings the last Wednesday of every month. Again, if you join us, then you have these trainings every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. To join us, so later on tonight, team, can you put that link for the Why Not EXP? So later on at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm doing another presentation that's probably going to take an hour and a half to 2 hours. If you are already with us, I would still strongly recommend to join so you can understand everything that EXP and the Team Gogo organization has to offer. If you're not with us yet and you want to check us out, I would welcome you to come and listen in to see what we have to offer, and you might decide that you want to join us. But the last Wednesday of every month, because we do these every Wednesday at 1 o'clock for Team Gogo, which is private for our organization, but the last Wednesday of every month, we open it up to the public. So you guys can see in. You can also invite your guests and they can get a free training that will give you insight of who we are and what we do. And then again, at 8 o'clock tonight, Eastern time, I'll explain the EXP model and the Team Gogo organization and all the benefits. And we call it wine, not EXP, because I do it with wine in my hand. And it's fun presentation. It's not a whole sales pitch. So just come learn who we are and join us. And then the last Wednesday of every month, if you put it in your calendar, 1 p.m., join us. It's always different. It's not always me. Sometimes I bring an expert in on a specific subject that they're going to train us on that subject, but it's always the last Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. I see a lot of messages. I'm assuming that everything was answered. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was so good to see you. Good to see you, Tanya, Jackson, and Sherry, and Jessica, and Jan, everyone. Denise, Michelle, all of you. Katen? Am I saying it right?
Yes.
Cool name.
Thank you.
I love it. Did you have a good takeaway today?
Yeah, this was incredible. I just joined Friday to
Oh,
EXP and everything. I'm brand new, so this was
I
this
love
was
it.
great.
Are you in Team Gogo?
I am.
Oh, I love it. Who's your sponsor?
Morgan Malang.
Okay, I don't know if I know her personally, but welcome to the Team Gogo family.
Thank you.
So we do trainings every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So make sure those are in your calendar. Have you been
Okay.
onboarded yet? Have you did an onboarding call with Raphael?
No,
No.
like this all
Raphael, do you
just
want to put
happened.
that link in here for her super quick? So when you guys joined, if you are already in our organization, when you guys joined, you got an email from us that says welcome to Team Gogo. Sometimes though, it ends up in your spam. So Katie, what I want you to do is search your spam too for Team Gogo, all one word.
Okay.
And
I
then
think I got it this morning,
did you?
maybe. I just joined EXP completely, so I'm just
Oh yeah,
inundated
you're
with,
going to be drinking from a fire hose here for a minute, but you
Yeah.
definitely want to follow the steps in that one because that's what's going to give you access to everything that we offer. So there's
Thank
a
you.
link in there to join the onboarding call. I would strongly recommend it. And Raphael, do you want to put your camera on so you can say hi to Kaiten? Because he's the one that's going to be, where is he? Oh, let's see. He has a brand new baby, so he might have
It's all
both.
good.
Yeah. Let's see if you can do it. Raphael, can you say hi?
No, I don't know what's happening with my camera.
You're all good. You're all good. I'll schedule a call with you
I
soon.
wanted you to see him, but I guess he's in his invisible form today.
I see his
Um,
plants.
yeah, you're invisible today, Raphael. But you can see his photo there. So that's Raphael, and he's the one who shows up to oh, there he is.
Okay.
There you are. Okay, good.
Hi, gay team.
Hi.
I saw you
Hi.
just joined us yesterday,
Yes.
so I think you got your email today correct. Yes. So
Yeah.
well, hope to see you on our onboarding call. I'll wait for
Yeah.
you.
I'll schedule. Wait, is it today?
No,
Or
you
is
can
there one
schedule
today?
it.
You
So
can
when you
schedule.
click that
Yeah.
link and then you
Okay.
schedule it when it's good for
Okay.
you. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep, but
I
I
will do that.
recommend that and make sure you show up on your computer because Raphael is going to make sure that you bookmarked everything. So the calendars, the maps, the everything that we offer is going to be right in your bookmark. And if there's few of you that like been here for years and you're like, I could use a refresher because now EXP offers so much, guys. Like when I joined versus some of you that joining today, there is so much more that the company and our upline offers. It's not even funny. So if you've been with us for a while, I would strongly recommend still sit through an onboarding call, a new one, to get all the new links and all the new bookmarks. But make sure you show up on your computer, Kaden, so everything's bookmarked and you never have to ask for another link. You know exactly where to find it.
Thank you. So I will say I did get the EXP hashtag Team GoGo support, and I tried to create a login, and it just kept saying that this user doesn't exist, and it kept kind of rerouting me back to the login screen.
Did you
But
use your new EXP email that they gave you, or did you use your personal?
I tried both. I tried my secondary and that didn't work. And then I got my EXP, so I tried that. So
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
Raphael, what would be the best way for her to figure that out?
I will send an email to her with all the links correct, just so she don't need to find out which one she needs to click now.
Okay.
Okay.
Just a new
I
email.
have your emails, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so
Awesome.
much. I'll reach out to you if I can't for some reason if it's wonky.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the family. Thank you
you.
everyone for being here. Remember, there is no box. Set a big, fat, obnoxious goal. Believe that you can do it, and it's already yours. Okay? That's it. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
See you later tonight at 8 o'clock if you want to learn about EXP. Bye.